Adam here with Froggy's Fog, just at Halloween Extreme in Orlando, Florida. First year of the show. It's been a good show so far. We've had a lot of good people here, met a lot of really good contacts. So it's been a good show so far. One of the products that was one of the top 10 products at Transworld this year was the Froggy Geyser. It did, and it's mainly because you can really put that color behind the fog. You can get that great bright orange fog and colored, and it's got that upshot. The good thing about it is, you know, yes, it can do that upshot, but what it can also do is you can turn it in any direction, build it into a prop, have some fun with it, and then, you know, a dragon's mouth coming out, a volcano coming out, you can change the colors. And the cool thing about it is the remote control here has 4 different settings, and each setting can be its own color. So you can really fine tune it to do whatever you really want it to do. So we can say 3, I think, is maybe blue, 4 was maybe green, so we can change it up and really have some fun with it. So, and that's the Froggy Geyser. So, and then of course, our most popular machine for our haunts is the German-made, 2-year warranty, haze-based classic. It's a little more expensive than some of the other guys, but with a 2-year warranty for the haunt industry, that means a lot, because a lot of times, you know, what you run into is you don't have that, hey, we used it for a season, next season it doesn't work. Well, if next season it doesn't work, I'm going to take care of it, you know, and so that's where a lot of people run into that. Hey, I bought it at the show, I bought it at Transworld, I got it in March, I used it in October, then it died, and my next year I'm done. So that's a good thing about this machine, is the warranty, and it takes care of it. And then the other thing that some of the haunts are doing now, just from a safety perspective, instead of using so much fog and having it so thick and so dense, and having it so people just can't see in front of their face, most haunts are looking for just that creepy feel that's got a light beam from a mini spotlight or something like that, that's just trying to light something. You just want that small beam of light. Well, all you really need for that is haze. So putting in a nice hazy environment is sometimes better overall for a haunt than it is to have a full-blown fogger here, there, and everywhere, because all you really need for most effects for light beams and that feel is a haze. And that's where the hazers come into play. And this is the Base Hazer Pro. Once again, it's a German-made machine, extremely well made. A lot of haunts will put this in and be able to cut down their fluid use absolutely considerably, because what you run into is you may run through a half a gallon in a weekend with a hazer, because it only is putting out what you need. And if you put the right haze in the air, you don't have to use a whole lot. We use this machine a whole lot in like the amusement industry with laser tags and bowling centers and things like that are different industries, but what they found is the same thing. If I'm running a laser tag facility for 8 hours a night, do I want to go through a gallon of fog, or do I want to go through, you know, maybe a quart of haze? And sometimes it's even less than that, depending on the size of the venue. And then the last thing was one of our new things that we launched this year at Transworld was our cryo guns. You hook these up to a backpack. You've got a liquid CO2 canister on it. Hook it up. When you pull the trigger, it's an extreme blast of really loud, really cold fog. So, and then the cool thing about it is when you get, you know, you're in a queue line, you're walking around, and then somebody just happens to not be paying attention, and you get them from behind with a blast of cold air that's extremely loud. It's just amazing. And then we've got the single nozzle and the dual nozzle. We've got the lasers on it, so you can actually know who your target is. Go right for Scott. No, he's about to get blasted. So, and then he gets a full cold thing with the CO2 blast. And then the other thing is, when you've got them in a fixed facility, we also have the fixed units that you can put in a scene, so that when it is triggered, then the cannon goes off. And these are usually hooked up to larger tanks, big, large 275-pound Dewar tanks, things like that. You also have the dual as well. The nozzles can be positioned in all kind of different directions to really, you know, make something explode. If you're really looking for something in your haunt to have that explosion factor, put in one of these behind it. When it does explode, you've got, you know, you really enhance the effect. So that's the CO2 blasters, and then of course the scents. We always love our scents. The water-based. If you're here for Halloween Extreme, we just kind of brought an abbreviated of what we would usually bring to Transworld, just because it is a smaller show. But we bring the most popular ones. We do have the Orbit scent box. That's the box that we brought out this year as well. The way it is set up, it does about 2,000 square feet. So if you're really looking to take a huge swamp scene and make the entire thing smell like a swamp, the Orbit scent box is the way to go. Here we've got chocolate chip cookies, and so as people walk in, they're smelling chocolate chip cookies and they're wondering where in the world it's coming from, but it's because the Orbit box, even in a large room like this, is really kind of giving off that smell. So every time I come over here to work a little bit, I'm like, I need to go get something to eat. I'm hungry. So, but then the scent sprays, these are what, you know, a lot of people really like, and it's simply because, you know, if you want your charred corpse to smell like a charred corpse as he's roaming around the building, then all he's got to do is spray a couple of sprays on this like a cologne, and he's walking around smelling like a charred corpse. And you know, for $10, he's got a perfume that now you've got your entire, you know, one bottle of a 1 ounce bottle of that's going to last the entire season, no doubt. So just a couple of sprays, and he's good to go. So, and then of course what we do is fog. So the different fogs that we have here at the show would be the most popular from the past, and what everybody knows is the swamp juice. It's got that, you know, 2-hour hang time, extremely long lasting. But what some of our customers have really began to love is what we call our bog fog. The bog fog is just like an extremely dense, super thick fluid, and we really like the bog fog, or our customers like the bog fog. So we created it for some high intensity situations with fire training and things like that. But as the haunts started to try it, they said, man, this stuff is thick, it's dense, it lasts a long time. This is my new favorite. So we listen to our customers. So, and then of course you've got your 2 ground fogs, indoor and outdoor. The indoor ground fog is your fast dissipating stuff, gives you that stage studio type effect, something that you know, is more like what you would see at a Broadway play when the fog goes across the ground, but then doesn't linger up in the air, just really disappears around waist level. And then you've got the freezing fog, which is, you know, what the haunted industry really told us many years ago when we first started out was, we don't like that theatrical stuff for our outdoor graveyards. We want something that actually does come out, goes across the ground, is super thick, but then as it starts to rise, it doesn't disappear. We want it to creep up in the trees. We want it to move around. So we listened to the haunt community and said, you know what, that's what you want. We'll figure out a formula called freezing fog that's specifically made for outdoor graveyards. We sell a few gallons throughout the year to other people for different purposes, but 95% of that product is sold during Halloween because it's made just for one purpose, outdoor graveyards. So that's kind of the spiel for Froggies for this show. So we're here at Halloween Extreme, having a good time, and ready to go to the zombie prom tonight. So website. The website is www.froggiesfog.com.
Good.